Welcome back. I am Packwell, and I want to talk about being alone. Being truly alone. And I'm not talking about being with a lover, having a family, being social, having colleagues and friends, and otherwise, and feeling alone. That sensation of emotionally feeling alone. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about utter solitary, true alone. The acceptance that you could die today and no one would realise you're even gone. That your corpse would rot in your room and no one realises it's even there. That's the true alone I am talking about. There are no friends, no Facebook followers, no one's pinging you, no one's getting your attention, no one's asking if you're okay, no one's worrying about you, no one's realising your existence. You are no one. And to a lot of people, that is utterly terrifying. True alone. All you have is the silence and your thoughts. And to a lot of people, that is a fate worse than death. And to me, I've been like that for years. It's no big to me, no biggie. I've been like that for years. It's like second nature. I don't mind being alone, utterly alone. And to a lot of people, they go, oh, I wish I could be alone. I wish I could be alone. You've heard that, I've heard that. So you've heard someone go, I wish I could just disappear and be alone. I am not talking about a blissful few hours, or a few days, or a long lofty few weeks of solitary. I'm talking about weeks that become months, months that become years, years that become decades. That's what I'm talking about. People who claim to want to be alone, they could not hack it. They could not hack being truly alone. It takes a certain kind of character to truly come to the acceptance that everyone outside your front door is a freak to you. You don't know them. It takes a certain kind of character to accept that. But no one's going to come say hi. No one's going to come and ask how your day's been. No one's going to come and want you to get involved in something. No one's going to invite you to anything. No one's going to ask you want to tag along. You are alone. You eat alone. You sleep alone. You wake alone. You work alone. You live alone. You exist alone. The thing I have learnt about being alone is it's not terrifying. It's not a bad thing that people make it out to be. That they can't cope being alone. Yes, many people can't. But it's not being alone that's the problem. It's the drastic change it causes to your life. Because in modern society, everyone, and I mean everyone, no matter where you are, from the Congo to Beijing to England to Texas, everyone is born in a very social community. Either it's a big family, a mass of friends or acquaintances, or just a communal group. You are born and you will live in a very social, very communal group. Your life is very socially and communal orientated. But being alone drastically changes that. When you become alone, you'll look back on that and you'll realise that a lot of your life was socially orientated. And all of a sudden, you've got a lot of time, you've got a lot of spare spaces on your rota, you've got a lot of empty spaces in your life. And that's the thing that I think scares people. It's not being alone, it's the drastic change it causes to your life. Because as I said, everyone, and I don't care where you come from, is born into a very social group, community, like I said, family, colleagues, friends, whatever. But being alone removes all that. Only you now. And that's what Prince Kill Lao Because all of a sudden, there is nothing. There is no social meetings, no groups, no one to talk to. All of a sudden, you've got a lot of spare time. You have a fuck ton of spare time. And I mean, really, you have a lot of spare time. Another point I've noticed in being this alone is time. When you are utterly alone, truly alone, time becomes a bit of a joke. There's no rotas. You're not meeting anyone at 5, you're not picking anyone at 4, you're not taking anyone at 9, you're not waking up at 4 to go anywhere. There's no rotas. There's no meetings. Your life isn't pivoted or rotated on anybody else. It's all about you now. You've got to make your own way. You've got to forge your own path. There are no links, no help. There's no support net, no safety net. There's nothing. Being alone, time becomes a joke. You stop looking at the clock. You stop looking at your watch. Because all you know that happens is now. To you, tomorrow doesn't exist. When you're actually alone, it doesn't exist. There's no tomorrow. There's no, I'm meeting Jenny at 5. Or Jim at 6. Or taking Jane at 9. And the second point I want to say. Time becomes a bit of a joke because you stop caring about it. Days will fly past. Weeks will jump by. Years will flick past. And you won't realise they're gone. There's another point I want to put across. When you are truly alone, your mind becomes dark very quickly. Your thoughts become debauched, depraved, messed up very, very, very quickly. It could be in a matter of weeks of being alone, a matter of days. Then you start questioning the meaning of life, the point of any of this. It's all a joke, you might as well go kill yourself right now. Because there's no reason to carry on. Oh yeah, you may have a good 40, 60 years. But what's the fucking point? When you know that, is it gonna fly by? When you're alone, your mind, your thoughts, your loves, it all becomes dark. You become cynical, cold, withdrawn. You stop caring for having drinks, you stop caring for the frivolities, you stop doing fun things. Your mind becomes very deep and very dark. Your thoughts and thinking become cold and cynical impeccably fast. It could be a matter of days, because all of a sudden, like I said, there's no more social, there's no more meeting, no more groups, nothing to do. There is nothing. Life is a very socially orientated thing. And when that's out of the equation, you have a lot of time. As I said, you have a lot of time. And the problem is, you have no idea what to do with that time. And that's the worst part of being alone. It's when your thoughts, your loves, everything that gave you a reason to get going in the morning dies. That's the worst part. Over time, your loves, your dreams, your hopes, your fantasies become frivolity. It becomes a waste. You just become dark in every sense. It changes you. Being alone changes you. Humans are social creatures. When given a prolonged solitary existence, you suffer. Those are just the negative parts of being alone. Let's get to the positive. When being alone, I mean utterly alone, like I was saying, utterly alone. And I'm not saying being in a group, I mean truly alone. You can do whatever you want, become whatever you want. You're not worried about fitting in. You're not worried about what someone else might think. You're not worried what your friend might think, what your mother might think, what your lover might think. You don't have to hide. You don't have to put on a mask or make a big deal of covering things up anymore. You stop caring about what others think. There's nobody there for you. And so all you have is you. You can call that a narcissist, that your life is very self-centered now. When you're alone, your life becomes very self-centered. It's all about benefiting you now. There's no love, no children, no friends. And you can say, I'm a narcissist, or whoever is alone had a little bit more narcissistic traits. Yeah, it happens. But to be honest, it's a good thing. Because all of a sudden now, you've got all that spare time You have no one to fawn after. You have no one to work for. You are nobody's bitch now. So you can do whatever you want. Of course, you gotta start from scratch. But you can do whatever you want now. You're nobody's bitch. And the last thing, when being truly alone, and I know this sounds quite douchey, new age, hippie and shit, and so on and so forth, but you find yourself. You do. When you stop following the crowds, when you stop following the flock and take your own trail, blaze your own trail, you make your own views, you make your own personality, your own character. You no longer say what anybody else thinks. You no longer say what everybody else says. You say what you want to say. You say what you think. You become yourself. And you can say to me, that sounds very new age and hippie and so on and so forth. Very, very hipster and otherwise. But it's true. When you're utterly alone, you find yourself. You become who you want to be. You don't fear what somebody else might think. Like my previous point, you don't fear what somebody else might think. You're not scared what your lover might say if you show them a bit of yourself. You're not scared of opening up. You're not scared of worrying what your friend, your lover, your family, your mother might think anymore. Being truly alone, you can become whatever you want to be. Those are just a few points, negatives and pros about being utterly alone. This is a short video. Thanks for watching. I am Packle and I'll see you next time.